Once again, we welcome you into Exiles TV on this Thursday morning, 21st of January. Let's see, the new president's been in office for a little under 24 hours, and the ground is not cracked open yet.
Yeah.
There have been no lightning bolts falling in random places, and
there has been some gas being passed. Mm-hmm. A little bit of that.
Without getting too heavy into the, I didn't vote for this jackass argument. I did make note of some things, and I'm gonna save them. I put them on my Facebook things so that they'll pop up yearly. Median price of gasoline per gallon across the USA yesterday was $1.95. 30-year fixed rate mortgage, 2.75 average. Mm-hmm. Okay. Those are two good standards to go by when you're just measuring how much does money cost and how much does it cost to run your car. So I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on it and see how it goes. Because I think, we're going to watch that price of gas start to go up, mostly because I know that there's pending legislation to increase the federal fuels tax.
Well, that, and they're making a big switch, because I noticed the price of gas started going up about 2 weeks ago. Not last week Thursday, but the Thursday before. So 2 weeks from today, gas jumped 8 cents overnight, mm-hmm. and then it's jumped another 9 cents. Although yesterday it throttled back a little bit, and now it's back to where it was. It's kind of nuts. But
now, gasoline does flux a great deal. I mean, gasoline and other motor fuels, it's always in a state of flux, and it can go up and go down. But you remember June 2008 when gasoline hit $4.10 a gallon here in Louisiana, mm-hmm. and it was as high as $5.50 in California and other states. I hope we don't ever return to those kind of days. We have established ourselves as a net exporter of petroleum products, and it just remains to be seen whether this president and his administration and Congress will kind of let that roll and let it happen and let that be something that we do, or will they want to get us back into a situation where we're buying oil again? But gasoline is a big one for people having to fill that tank. The other one is borrowing money. I think if they're smart, they'll let those interest rates stay low for as long as possible.
Well, Janet Yellen wants to keep them low, the new Secretary of the Treasury.
Good for her.
This is, I hate to break your train of thought, but
go ahead, I was done.
This is some breaking news. Donna Britt has passed away.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Longtime Channel 9, 6 and 10 p.m. anchor Donna Britt, who has been fighting ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, for 3 years now?
Yeah. Even a little bit longer, but...
she died this morning.
Well, that's just sad and a shame.
Yeah. She was multi-talented. She didn't just do the news. She was quite an accomplished vocalist and quite an accomplished piano player. I guess pianist would be the proper term. She's the daughter of a Southern Baptist preacher, and she is survived by her husband, Mike Ballard, and her two children, Annie and Louie. She first came on the air in 1980. Whoa, what is that? First came on the air in 1980 as a news reporter at WAFB, but she had been, before that, a DJ on WLBI in Denham Springs, 1220 AM, a 500-watt AM station.
I always read that she was working on WYNK at the time when the station manager at Channel 9 called her up and said,
Carlton Cremines, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was WLBI. I don't think she was at Wink. But anyway, she announced her diagnosis on the Channel 9 6 p.m. newscast on July 27th, 2017. So this has been well over 3.5 years that this god-awful wasting disease had affected Donna Britt. She retired from the station right after she announced her diagnosis, within a few months. As the disease
did continue to work for a while until it just got. I mean, they even had made arrangements for her to have a motorized chair.
Yes.
That would raise and lower so that she could be as high up as her co-host, who was standing next to her. And they did everything they could at Channel 9 to accommodate Donna for as long as she wanted to work. This is a terrible disease. ALS, I've had no less than 3 family members
Wow, that's a lot.
lost to ALS. And the worst thing about it is it's your body giving up on you while your mind is still very much in there. It's not a mental disease. It is a physical disease. It strips your body of its ability to move and to function normally. And a lot of times it will take over one side and then proceed down the other. And Donna was just, she was so brave. And I have some fond memories of her from years past where she just led the community.
You and I worked a couple events with her where we were all 3 of us MCs.
Yep.
She did so many things in the community. We don't have enough time in this program today to go through every one of the ones.
No.
But I think one of the things that she was most well known for was she was the leader of the band, basically, for the kettle ringers for Salvation Army.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that Donna used to do that everybody just loved was she would sing Christmas carols while working the kettle.
Mm-hmm.
And she sang beautifully. She sang like an angel. And it was a very, very sad day. She had just been diagnosed, and her doctors told her, please stop doing that. Singing will make this condition progress more quickly because of the amount of expansion you're doing to your chest and your diaphragm. So this disease didn't even leave her with that. She couldn't even sing Christmas carols during the Christmas season, ringing the bell for the Salvation Army. Somebody was talking about her just the other day, and it was odd. And talking about all the people retiring from media and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody asked me if Donna was healthy, do you think she'd still be in the anchor chair? And I'd say yes.
Yes, absolutely.
She would still be in the anchor chair. But this is just sad, sad news. And as I said, it just broke, which is why I interrupted you.
No, it's quite all right.
And just sad, sad news. We'll have a little bit more about how Donna Britt shaped the news in Baton Rouge, some opinions from two guys that have been around her a lot. In fact, our old station, Taco 107.3, used to have a news relationship with Channel 9.
Yeah, we had a partnership with Channel 9. The company that we worked for owned Channel 9 at one time.
At one time, yes.
So it preceded us.
They were the owners when Donna was hired.
Yep, it preceded us, but yeah. So God rest you, Donna Britt. You are in a better place now, and may the angels keep you.
Yeah.
And
we'll talk a little bit about her
you will be
impact
missed
on newscasts in the Baton Rouge area, actually all over South Louisiana, because there were so many affiliation agreements after this break on Exiles TV.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Look up to the skies as soon as
Welcome back, Exiles TV. Very sad throughout South Louisiana. We just learned moments ago that former WAFB news anchor Donna Britt passed away this morning. And yesterday we were talking about Pat Shingleton retiring from daily weathercasts. A week and a half ago we were talking about Donna Britt retiring from Channel 9. Mm-hmm. And there were people who really shaped the local television stations here in the 80s and 90s, and Donna Britt was one of them.
Absolutely. Shingleton,
Ed Buggs,
George Sells, Ed Buggs,
Andrea Clessy,
John Mahaffey, Andrea Clessy. These guys became they were the personality of television. They were the character of television in our city. And sometimes people judge a broadcast market, city, mm-hmm. by its broadcasting talent. And I thought that we had at one time in the 80s and the 90s, we had top-notch talent on every single television station.
We did, and a lot of that, when Donna Britt and George Sells were teamed up at WAFB. WAFB was such an also-ran behind Channel 2 that they could barely see the Z if they squinted their eyes, And Donna being a real person on the air next to George, the heavy-duty facts and figures news reporter.
Consummate pro.
Worked. It worked very well. Just like Ed and Andre on Channel 2 worked very, very well. And they really closed the gap within about 5 years on WBRZ. And we love our friends at WBRZ equally. I'm not trying to pick a favorite child. But I remember when WBRZ's newscast right here in Baton Rouge was ranked as one of the top 10 newscasts in the entire nation. Mm-hmm. And Channel 9 caught them. And it's been a battle for the top ever since between the two of them. Some years Channel 9's on top, some years Channel 2 is on top. And during this big, I don't know if you want to call it an arms race, because it was fun to watch, because they were all very polished as they were doing it. They didn't hit many low notes. It came to pass, and this was largely because of Donna, that news anchors got out into the community for the first time in a 4+ effort. It used to be if you called Channel 9 and you said, hey, we're having a big event at the YMCA, would somebody like to MC it? They would send their weekend sports guy. That changed with Donna, and everybody started to follow. Donna was the one who was calling all other media people saying, come ring the kettles, ring the bells with the kettles at Salvation Army. I mean, how many events did you and I MC with Donna? Or sometimes it was the three of us.
At least three. I have a fond memory of Donna I'd like to share, and it was one of the, we used to, before COVID, we did the annual lighting of North Boulevard.
Yes.
Downtown. They'd light up the Christmas lights on North Boulevard. And Donna was emceeing a stage. I was broadcasting live, and I wasn't doing the stage with Donna, although she invited me up.
Yeah.
But Donna was singing Christmas carols from the stage and, quote unquote, leading the audience and singing Christmas carols. Well, that was sweet, but the audience wasn't doing it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you had Donna up there, and she was singing all by herself, and nobody was singing along, but within like 3 songs, just by her sheer persistence mm-hmm. and her charisma, she had that whole crowd singing along. She just, she was going to refuse to be dissuaded by the fact that the crowd was not singing along in the sing-along, and she didn't yell at them or come on or anything like that. She just kept on singing, mm-hmm. and next thing you know, she had everybody eating out of her hand. She was that kind of person. Everybody loved Donna because you wanted to.
Yeah, the era of Donna and the late Ed and Andrea was the first time people in Baton Rouge actually got to have face-to-face with their news anchors. And of course, you know, a lot of these people that were getting face-to-face with the news anchors were business leaders that controlled advertising budgets.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just because it was good business, but it was good business. It was good business to have your stars out at these big fundraising events for charity, where the guy who controls the advertising budget, and I'm going to use this as an example, for Blue Cross Blue Shield in Louisiana, walks away saying, you know, I really like what Donna Britt does, and I like her now that I've met her, and I wonder how much we're advertising in Channel 9's news. Or the same could be said of Channel 2's news, or Talk 107.3 when we did it. But they were the trailblazers in this. And Donna, like I said, we don't have enough time to talk about all the community events in this city that Donna did in her 30 plus years. She really was one of a kind. You know, she was so nice that for a lot of people, the first time you met her and she was so nice, you thought it was an act. It wasn't an act. She was that nice. She really was that nice. And while she hasn't been on the air for 3 years now, I don't think any of us have forgotten her. And I don't think any of us have forgotten how much we miss seeing her twice a day at 6 and 10. Hard thing. It's a very hard thing.
Once again, we're going to take a brief pause, take care of some business. We'll be back with more here on Exiles TV.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Fruget Jr., and I am a general dentist at Fruget Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Team Honda wants to thank you for once again making us Louisiana's #1 new car dealer by offering you never-before-seen savings. For the first time ever, get 0% financing up to 60 months on some of your favorite Honda models. Get thousands in savings right now at Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
Hi, welcome back to Exiles TV. Bill Profita over there, and I'm Kevin Gallagher over here. Again, we mourn the loss of Donna Britt, and I was going to say something profound, but words don't come. But I always feel when people depart us like this, they're in a much better place. And certainly she, if anybody qualified for the kingdom of heaven, it's Donna Brett. So,
If you don't mind, and I am not trying to be crude, but you want to talk about being in a much better place, and I think you've got that right. I don't know why, but I've always feared that particular disease, ALS.
oh,
And I can't imagine anything worse for anyone, let alone someone who was as demonstrative and being out and about as Donna, being trapped in that body for days and days and weeks and months that will not respond to your thoughts, and wondering when it's going to come that your diaphragm is going to stop working or you're going to choke to death. You know, that's got to be the most horrible thing on earth.
well, from personal experience, my paternal grandmother died of ALS, and my memories of her towards the end were that she was angry. You could just tell. She sat there silently because she could no longer speak, but that was part of it. And you could just see from the look in her eyes that she was angry at what had befallen her and what her fate had did. She's just angry all the time. Why is this happening to me? And I'm like you, I fear it because I've got it in my family history. And it is very much a disease that can be, passed on genetically. So I just don't know what else to say about Diane other than...
You mean Donna?
Donna, I beg your pardon. Diane, I'm thinking about you too, but you're not sick, thank God.
No.
But anyway, I'll be interested to see when the arrangements are, and
Well, I wonder if she had made some previous arrangements. Her daughter is a neuromedical scientist, and her daughter wanted to specialize in something else in medicine, but when Donna got diagnosed with this, she changed her focus. I almost wonder if Donna might not want her remains to go to medical research on this awful disease. That would be very much like her.
maybe so. And deep condolences to Mark Ballard, her husband. Mark himself is a columnist and a journalist, and one of the best ones we have in Baton Rouge, in the state for that matter. And then, of course, her children. So
This is just awful, but you know what? If there is any good in it, you said it, my friend. Her suffering is over. She is in a much better place.
meanwhile,
Whoa!
our problems here in Baton Rouge continue. We had East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office investigating a man shot and killed last night, not far from where we tape this program, as a matter of fact. Sherwood Common Boulevard, there is a large apartment complex there, and detectives say an unidentified man and woman meant to meet with another person. The woman says the person got into the car with the pair and shot and killed the man. According to police, the woman was also shot, but it's a non-life-threatening injury, and that's about all they can tell us at this time. The investigation is ongoing. What do you think? Drug deal?
Well,
Or drug deal gone afoul? Or
as Hiller says, most of these, 99% of them, they know each other. They got a beef of some sort. But again, here we are, only 21 days into the new year, and what have we had? 5?
5 in East Baton Rouge Parish.
How many last year at this time?
I don't think we'd had one by this time last year.
Yeah, because we're all going, wow.
Yeah, I don't think that we had one by this time last year. I could be wrong.
Well, and again, we got Baker, which is in East Baton Rouge Parish. On major cases, although they have a large police department in Baker, and a good one, they share some jurisdiction with sheriff's office on things like this. They are putting together a local initiative to try to stop gun violence in Baker, for all plate. They've had 2.
Just since the first of the year.
Yeah.
And here today is the 21st. We've talked about this ad nauseum, but there seems to be no easy answer. How do you reach people and convince them that there is a better way to resolve any conflict? Whether it's like, you sold me some drugs and they were crap, or you owe me money, pay me back, or I just don't like your face, or you done my sister wrong. How do we talk people into grasping the notion that you don't settle these differences by shooting somebody.
Well, you know, we talk about this a lot, and I certainly don't disparage the idea of conflict resolution. But here's a question. It's an open question. Are most of these people, by the time they reach their middle to late teens, too far down the highway where we can teach them conflict resolution without violence? I mean, that is a serious question. And I don't know the answer. I think if you take somebody, and I don't care what their circumstances are, if they're rich or if they're poor, if you take them starting from about the age of 4, preschool age, kindergarten, and you teach them when you're angry about something and there's a conflict, this is how you work through it. And it won't always be what you want. I don't think if you take somebody who is 15, 16, 17 years old, or 20, 21, 22 years old, who is used to carrying that firearm as their way of solving anything that they can't handle between their ears, I don't know that you can teach them anything. What do you think?
Well, Bill, one of the first radio stations I worked at full-time was a station that played popular, I think what they used to call it was urban music. They probably still do call it urban music. We played a combination because rap hadn't quite become the thing yet in 1984, 85, but rap was starting to dominate urban music. And along about 86, 87, then this gangster rap phenomenon came along where it was the content of the rap. Rap music, the rap music I remember in my early days, 84, 85, was mostly fun-loving.
Yeah.
And the content of the pieces
and fun.
And they would, what they would do is they brag about who was the best DJ, who did better with the ladies, et cetera, and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. But somewhere it diverted into what they call gangster rap, which is all about having the hose and having the drugs and look out for the popo and bust a cap and all this other stuff. And this is not an indictment of black music because rap music is embraced by all cultures. Does anyone disagree with that? Rap music is embraced by all cultures.
Oh yeah, you got white, black, Korean. Koreans love rap.
Young kids, whether they're Asian, white, African American, Native American, everybody loves rap music, and a lot of them really cling to that badass persona that's pervaded in rap music. And I'm not blaming rap music, but I'm going to say 30 years of rap music pervading the culture and being what our kids are absorbing when we're not paying attention to them has contributed to this.
Don't you think, because I do, and I'll take it way back before rap. A lot of the music that I grew up with in the 70s, late 60s through the 70s, was all about sex. It really was.
Sure.
And,
do you like making love?
Well, yeah, and I think for people my age at that time, there was almost what I would call an urgent permission to get in.
Oh, it was a directive. Pop music was saying, go get laid.
All right, so you agree with me,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So,
rock music of the time, the 60s, the 70s, was saying, go out there and get you some.
So then why haven't we recognized as a society, why haven't the parents involved and the churches involved recognized that the same sort of permission for violence exists in much of this music that you just referenced?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's almost an imperative. It's like, if you got a beef with somebody, you don't settle it with your fists or with your words. You settle it with the gun.
Yeah.
And you bust a cap.
But there is a certain amount of permission or urging in the lyrics of some of this music, just like there was in the 70s with the sexualization of the lyrics and the drugs. Yeah, and drugs. That's right. And one toke over the line was not what our parents thought it meant.
No, but that song was almost a little, fairly innocent, as opposed to, the pusher.
But how do we not, realize as a society that we're, and let's be very, very bluntly honest about this. In this community, at least, most of the trigger pullers, as Hiller calls them, are young black males.
And I'm going to go you one step further. I'm going to say a lot of them are undereducated.
Yeah.
And that's our failure. That's the system's failure.
Why don't we recognize that perhaps some of the permission they're getting for this type of acting out comes from the influence of their music, and try to work through it in that fashion? Because we don't want to, because that would show a bias, wouldn't it?
Right. And
that would show a bias.
Well, a lot of people are very, very reluctant to criticize.
And again, I'm not trying to throw gasoline on a smoldering ember here, but is it a bias if it's true? Is it a bias if it's reasonable? I would say, what do we got to lose by looking at it?
You know, well, the problem is reason. We can't get people to listen to reason anymore, or think reasonably.
There's that.
You know, I mean, the conversation you and I had on yesterday's show, where I barbed up at you, shows that I'm not always willing to think reasonably.
Well, is anybody willing to think reasonably 100% of the time? But certainly, these music companies, these studios, the artists, they must be making a tremendous amount of money, or they wouldn't be doing this. They'd be doing something else.
Marty is going to wrap on that table one more time. We better take a pause.
Hey,
if you ever hear that off in the distance, because it shouldn't turn up on the mics, but if you hear like a bang 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 bang, that's Marty saying.
Has he got the volume?
Commercial.
Has he got the volume up on the beep tone for that purpose as well?
Commercial. Yeah. He's got to hit us with 2, 3. Anyway, quick break. We're going to be right back with Exiles
Marty needs to go to the restroom.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Of all the auto brands on the road today, only one has been named the best auto brand for 6 straight years. That brand is Mazda. Come shop and save on the award-winning lineup of new Mazdas right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
To Exiles TV. Kevin Gallagher right there.
That's the rumor anyway.
And I'm Bill Profita. Glad to have you with us. We just have a lot of sad news to pass along.
Yeah, I wish we had better news, but...
I apologize. Former Louisiana legislator known for rescuing Blue Cross Blue Shield during the financial crisis in the 1990s, P.J. Mills has passed away at the age of 87.
Well, 87's a good long run.
It is.
Did they say what? I mean, he wasn't another COVID, was he?
Parkinson's and Alzheimer's.
Okay. Well, there's no good thing to die from, but at least it's COVID has been decimating our elderly population,
but
just tearing it up.
He was raised in Baton Rouge, went to LSU, and made his money in business in Shreveport, in the banking business. And he was first elected to the state legislature in 1967. And he stayed there till 72. He became chief of staff to Governor Buddy Roemer. And if you remember, we used to get a lot of sound bites out of both Buddy and P.J. Mills. They were a good place to plow the media field. But in 1993, he was asked by the board of directors of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana and Mississippi, by the way. The one on Bluebonnet here is Louisiana and Mississippi, to become their chief executive officer. They were failing at the time. And he rescued them and stayed with them as the chairman of their board until just a few years ago when he retired. He and his wife Jeannie were married 62 years. So,
wow.
Catholic High graduate, by the way, P.J. Mills.
Wow. Again, God rest him. I'm
afraid
seriously
to look.
scanning, looking for something good to tell you all today. Oh boy.
Well, let's take a minute and talk about these idiots in Portland, Oregon, because they need to be talked about.
That is worth talking about.
If you don't mind, I think we ought to. So last night,
do we not associate Black Lives Matter and Antifa largely with the left, quote unquote?
Well, I always had. Now I'm wondering if we ought to just associate them with people who just like to burn things and break things and things like that.
That's what I'm beginning to think, is that they don't adhere to any necessarily political philosophy other than their own, which is if you're angry, burn something down.
Yeah.
Tear down a statue.
Yeah, last night, Portland police arrested 8 people. They're looking for more. It was several dozen. It wasn't like in the thousands in the streets.
I saw some video. It was a good-sized group.
But here's the deal. They're carrying BLM signs and Antifa signs, and one of them said, "We don't want Biden. We want revenge."
Well, of course, the question that comes to my mind is revenge for what? What is it you want revenge for? What wrong has been done you?
Well, in their marketing, they had a lot of anti-Biden and anti-police slogans on their banners that they carried as they marched.
Yeah, damn those police. They arrest us when we break the law.
Yeah, I was a little under on 7.
Damn it.
I was a little under on 7 dozen. 150 people was the count. They vandalized buildings with graffiti. They smashed windows. They moved dumpsters in the middle of the street and lit the contents. Dumpster fire would kind of summarize this movement, wouldn't you think?
And in Portland, which is like...
Well, and then they went to the local headquarters of the Democratic Party and broke every window they could.
That's what gets me. It's like, what is your beef with the Democratic Party? And it's not like Biden has been tried. I remember when Barack Obama was president, the extreme left was very critical of him because they think he wasn't left enough. He wasn't radical enough. He didn't do enough to satisfy them. Biden's been in office for a day.
Well, I think this shows that these people don't have any strong political motivation. Their motivation is they like being very, very vocal and very, very violent at their demonstrations. This is apparently what they do. Now, here's what's interesting, Kevin. Of all the stops and all the arrests, they seized a Molotov cocktail, several knives, police batons, chemical spray, and 1 crowbar. Not 1 firearm.
Well, at least there's that, but it may be that they're so broke-ass they can't get their hands on
Well,
them.
what this tells me is they probably have a lot of people in this group that already have a felony on their record and don't want to get caught with a firearm if they get arrested. Yeah, that's what tells me.
And make no mistake, some of these Antifa BLM types, they have been arrested multiple times in multiple cities. But because of the nature of the way things were last summer, it was catch and release. A lot of these people were arrested, processed, released, and they may go to trial and sometime in 2021. But in the meantime, they're up to the old tricks.
Yeah, Portland police, when they got to the ICE facility, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility, Portland police, along with, you've seen them at our federal buildings, the GSA, the General Services Administration police, they decided that they weren't going to have it. And as it was put, they launched crowd control munitions.
Tear gas? Is that what that means?
Beanbags, rubber bullets, paintballs, knock them down, and then the Portland police scooped them up there and arrested them. The way this is written, the ICE police, the GSA police, knocked them down, and the Portland police scooped them up, which they should have been doing that last summer.
On the other end of the political spectrum, a prominent member of the ultra-right-wing Proud Boys extremist group that participated, he was identified in video that he was part of the protest January 6th at the U.S. Capitol. The peaceful protests.
Yeah.
They laid siege to the building. According to CNN, 37-year-old Joseph Randall Biggs. Doesn't that just sound like a redneck name to you?
Joseph Randall Biggs.
They call him Joe Randy.
Well, I would.
He was captured yesterday, faces 3 counts, including obstruction of a proceeding, entering restricted grounds, and disorderly conduct. Now, I don't know how serious those charges are.
Get some jail time.
Disorderly conduct is one of these.
Yeah.
Entering restricted grounds, obstruction of a proceeding, though. I mean, they literally interrupted Congress. They were in session.
They
had to vacate the House of Representatives.
They can get time for that.
They had to load up a bunch of those representatives on those underground trains that they used to get them out of the Capitol.
So is that his home, Orlando? Is that where he lives?
Apparently. He participated in the Capitol attack earlier this month. 37-year-old resident appeared before a judge in Orlando, released under home confinement and other restrictions, according to his court file. When asked about his insurrection allegations against the Proud Boys, Biggs reportedly said that'll be discussed in court. Smart guy.
At least he's smart enough to do that.
Don't you know during the perp walk you're supposed to say, man, I didn't do nothing, man. I was home watching TV.
They got him on video. They got him on video inside the Capitol screaming, "This is awesome."
Yeah,
he talks like a 14-year-old. This is awesome.
Yeah, if you saw that clip, he was that guy. Here's more from Biggs from his writings, according to the court affidavit. The only thing we'll do that's us is think like us. January 6th is going to be epic. And then, of course, here's your quote. This is awesome, man.
He's channeling Flounder from Animal House. This is great.
See, the worst thing about January 6th is we knew this, you knew this, I knew this. Even though I voted for Trump and I thought Trump did a good job, I knew that there were a lot of people with excrement in their cranium that were hardcore Trump supporters. And unfortunately, sometimes when you're not smart, you make really, really bad decisions.
And as you have pointed out correctly, not just when it came to Trump, you were pointing this out before Trump ever came to national political prominence. And I think you were correct then, and you're correct now. In every one of these groups, there are some people who are there just because they like it. Not that they like the ideology, they like watching the world burn is the term that you use.
Yep. That's from one of the Batman movies, I can't remember which, where Alfred tells As to why some men just like to watch the world burn.
What the hell is it with Orlando? Orlando is becoming the weird guy and woman capital of the universe.
Central Florida. You ever spend much time in Central Florida? Other than just going to Disney or something like that?
No, I've spent time there. It ain't
I'm
pretty.
going to tell you, Central Florida is redneck central. I mean, there are a lot of undereducated rednecks in Florida, and I'm sorry, that's that kind of extremism, the kind of extremism that leads to people wearing sheets and burning crosses and stuff. There's just no place for it anymore. I mean, look, it's good enough to get out there with banners and signs and chant. The media is going to show it, but the media is also going to show that you didn't hurt anybody, that you didn't destroy anything. And your argument's going to go a lot farther when people could say they didn't hurt anybody, they didn't destroy anything, they're just Americans with a point of view.
Yeah, they can make an argument. Now, but going back to Orlando, I mean, it is not lost to me in this point that the Walt Disney Company put it there because there wasn't anything there before they built. There was
cow pastures, swamp.
There was a naval recruit depot, and there wasn't anything there. It's kind of like why they were looking at the undeveloped areas of the LP before they settled on Orlando. We almost had Disney World here in our area, but the police jury for Livingston Parish didn't want all those show people around, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, they didn't want to have a big influx of outsiders coming into their parish.
They didn't want that. But yeah, I mean, I've spent some time in Central Florida, and DeLand and Palapka, and I mean,
Chief Land, Florida.
Yeah, it's like
my car broke down in Chief Land, Florida one night, and I was scared for my life.
Oh yeah, you were hearing that Charlie Daniels song, "Uneasy Rider."
Yep, my car broke down close to a drive-in, and I walked to the drive-in movie, and I asked the woman at the ticket thing, my car broke down. Is there anybody I can call? She said, well, my son's a mechanic. I can call him. And she did. And this truck shows up, and her son has got on a pair of bib overalls with one strap attached, like something from a damn TV show.
Reached out and kicked old Green Teeth right in the knee.
Yep, and they wanted me to ride with them in their pickup truck back to his house because I was driving a 1970 Pontiac, and they said, I got a 69. We could swap out that alternator, no problem. And they said, come on, take a ride with us. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get killed.
No, you weren't going to get killed.
I'm going to get killed for the $140 in my pocket.
You weren't going to get killed. You were going to become his new lover. That hair. All right, let's take a break.
Please.
Oh, that hair, those eyes.
Yeah, I had lots of both at that time.
Okay, get us off. Take the break.
Exiles will be right back. Thank you.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
We're making 2021 the year of savings, and it starts right now at Team Toyota. Come get a new 21 Corolla for just $189 a month, or get a 20 Camry for just $19,995. It's a year full of savings starting right now, right here at Team Toyota.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bugg Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
How warm was it?
It was brisk, but still pleasant.
Welcome back, Exiles TV. Going to wrap it up for today here in a minute or two. Again, the big news of the day. The big news is the passing of WAFB's former anchor Donna Britt. That happened this morning. I noticed that other media outlets are paying tribute to Donna as we speak.
Sure.
And I am
Because what Donna did for Channel 9, she did for media in Baton Rouge in general.
Yeah. And so I'm very sure that throughout the day today on newscasts on all the television stations, anywhere you can find us, I mean, this extends to Lafayette and to Orleans Parish, and you're going to hear about Donna's passing. We don't know about any type of arrangements or anything, because this is...
Just happened this morning.
Yeah, this is just way, way too soon. The other potential story is that we are going to, if you look around, and it doesn't matter if you're in Lafayette or New Orleans or Baton Rouge like we are, and the river parishes, the cloud deck is getting more full and is getting lower. We are going to have a weekend of rain. Now, through...
wait a minute. The whole weekend? Because my girl Jasmine Lomax this morning told me it was going to be a 20% chance of rain by Saturday.
Well, now they're saying that it will extend into Sunday.
Damn.
But the big news, of course, is that we had been told that we shouldn't see any severe weather with this front. Now they're saying that there is a slight chance of severe weather with this front. So again, you will get your information as it comes in, but it appears that we are going to look at temperatures dropping a little bit more closely to the normals for this time of year. Who's that beep?
I hear a car alarm.
I hear
It's
a
not
car
mine.
alarm. It's not mine. I don't think it's mine. Well, we'll know in a minute. But 1 to 3 inches of accumulation are likely from the Lafayette area through the New Orleans area, mainly along a swath about 30 miles north and south of the I-10, I-12 corridor. So that's what you're going to be looking at as we get into the weekend. Just so you know.
I'm sorry, Bill. I was just scrolling through my Facebook feed. Sometimes these things, some people will ask a question just to stir a debate or have some fun.
Yeah.
What can you say during sex, but also say the same thing at family dinner? I'll take a breast.
No.
In Florida, move over, Mom. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's funny.
Let's see. Always at family dinner.
Some of the answers are hilarious. There's one person, I choked on a bone. What's for dessert?
Yow.
Family dinner's not always at home, so here's your bill whenever you're ready.
You got a little something right here. You want to clean that off?
Yikes.
Yow.
Facebook. You know what has been good about Facebook is that a lot of people, when they reacted to Mark Zuckerberg and some of the quote-unquote censorship of the right, and they're off Facebook. So even though I love you all, your negativity was kind of bringing me down on my Facebook feed, and I'd been spending less time on Facebook. One of the things I love about Facebook is it makes me laugh. You know, my Facebook friends make me laugh, and I'm looking forward to getting some more of that. Because as Abraham Lincoln said, I laugh because I must not cry.
Our buddy from the Greater Baton Rouge Zoo, Phil Frost. You follow Phil?
Yeah, I do follow Phil.
Phil does his non-political post of the day.
I look forward to Phil's
post. It's always a cartoon, and it's nowhere near political, and it's always funny. It is always funny.
But see, here's the kind of stuff. Biden seen without a mask on federal property hours after signing executive order requiring masks on federal property. That bastard.
No, jeez.
It's like that's, you can't wear the damn mask all the time.
And again, how much time did it take you to sit there and post that? And, how much energy and why?
I don't know. That was actually shared by a professional journalist that I quite admire, Sarah Carter, who's, she's otherwise pretty sharp.
Shouldn't be picking the nits.
I think not. I think it doesn't help anything, certainly. Pick nits, keep scores.
Speaking of picking the nits, one of my favorite newscasters, Liz Coe, was obviously running short on the story that she was leading in. She was talking about a shooting and said the victim was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries and is going to be okay. Added that or non-life-threatening injuries and is going to be okay. I was like, I know you were short, but you don't know that because she might not have use of her arm. She may never play the piano again. Mm-hmm. She might not be able to smell cheese. You don't know that she's going, and don't add descriptions to your shooting report.
Not the news, anyway.
Yeah.
Stick to the facts, yeah.
All right, take good care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.
Stay dry, okay?
Bugs. Yeah. Clarence Bugs is next.